Welcome to a quick gameplay video prototype version of the board game Overload. This video is for promotional purposes, really just providing a brief look at a turn or two. This video does not cover game setup, rules, or instructions. Those are covered in different videos. So we have a game on Tabletop Simulator here that we've got most of the setup done. And we're at the point now where we would choose which character goes first and where we would place the little action marker. And we must choose one of the 6 population centers to place our little character on. But before we do that, let's take a look at the city of Copperhaven here and let's see if we have any immediate problems. And one immediate problem I see is population center number 4. And why this is a problem is that population center number 4 doesn't have any steam markers on it. So all the pipes are burst. And really what that means is that this does not have a steam path back to one of the 3 pressure engines. So this needs to be powered by steam. Otherwise, we are going to lose a population at the end of this turn. So as per the game rules, we are going to lose 1 population off of any population center. Actually, we're going to lose a population off of every population center that does not have a steam marker. So at the end of the round, if we did not have steam markers on both of these, then we would lose a population here and we lose a population here. So that's not a good way to start the game. So let's first draw cards out for every player. And so we've drawn the 5 cards for the Surge Bot and the Builder Bot. And like I say, overview of the turns, let's reveal Hater's objectives first. So let's see what Hater's going to do. So if I reveal his 3 cards in draw order sequence, we can see that first he is going to recall to population center 1 burst of pipe, increase pressure, recall to pressure location 2 burst of pipe, and then he's going to move 3 towards upgrade location number 2, and he's going to burst a pipe. So let's follow his actions of what would happen here. So he would recall up to number 1, burst one of these pipes, take one of these steam markers off, recall over in the number 2 location, he's going to take one of these steam markers off. Now that's not necessarily good because we don't want to remove that one. Because if we remove that one, then we're going to have this location not be powered because it does not have a steam path back through to a steam pressure engine. This still has steam power in it, but doesn't have a complete path back. So we'll have to remove one of these 3 on this card here. But then I see he's going to move 3 to upgrade number. So he's end up going to be here, and he's going to remove one of these anyways. So this location at the end of this turn is not going to have steam power to it. So if we repair this one and get to be able to move over here, let's see if we can keep both locations online at the end of this turn. So let's review the cards that we have. So the Surge Bot has a couple repairs and a couple moves, but he does not have an ability to move across the map to get to the other location. So if he starts here, he has a couple moves, but not enough to get across the map. So let's see what the other character can do. So the Builder Bot also has a couple repair actions, which is good, but also has this action here, which is a recall action. And as we take a look at these cards here, the recall action is somewhere in this deck, so he does not have his recall card out here. And what the recall action does is allow you to recall to any of the population centers. So if this Steambot were to start on his actions over here, maybe can do a repair action here, recall over here, and do another repair action. Now this may not work as well as we want, even though we have a repair action over here. Because if this repair, or if the Builder Bot comes over here and does a repair action, let's say he repairs this pipe. Once this guy, the Hater Bot comes over here and let's say he takes this off, this location still does not have a full steam path back to any of the pressure locations. So we may not be able to prevent a population loss on this turn, but let's see how this plays out. So I'm going to say that this character goes first, and we're going to place his character on population center number 4, and then the Surge Bot, maybe whoever is playing this character, say, well, I'm going to start this guy over here just in case we don't do enough repair actions over here. that if we lose a population lose a population on this person's turn, then we won't lose a population on this player's turn. So let's take a look at the cards that we have here and figure out what we want to do on this turn. So what we have here are 5 cards, and we have a couple move actions, we have a couple repair actions, we have a trash card action, recall, and his special ability, which is sometimes also found here on some of the upgrade cards. This reduces a stabilizer token, so we could push a 3 down to a 2 or a 5 down to a 4. This is a really powerful action, but we may not be able to take advantage of that on this turn. And we also have one card here which allows us to, if we chain these actions together, to acquire a card or something on the board. Now we can't acquire these stabilizer tokens. We need to do that with the special build actions, which are found on these cards here. So really the acquire card doesn't do us a lot of good yet. So there are other acquire cards in the deck that we haven't drawn out. So really this card doesn't do much for us on this turn. So if we look to play these cards, let's say if we wanted to start here and do a repair, and then we do a recall, we could move and get this Steambot over to this location here and do another repair. However, like I say, just repairing this or this pipe and putting a steam marker on here isn't going to save this location. However, we do have an outside chance that we can make this work, and that is through the trash card. So this trash card ability allows us to trash any card that we haven't played yet in our turn, or a card that's in the discard pile. We don't have anything in our discard pile yet, but we could trash a card that we haven't played on this turn. And by trashing a card, let's say if we trash this card, and we would randomly we get the top card that's off this recycle deck. Now we don't know what we're going to get, but the cards that are in the recycle deck are better, slightly better than the cards that we have. And some of the cards in here do have a repair 2 on them. So we might be able to, by luck, draw out one of the cards that have a repair 2 on it. So let's take our first action. Now we don't have to place all our cards and say that we're going to do this and this. As long as we haven't played an action off of a card, we don't have to place it. But sometimes we want to place and map all our cards out just so we can run the actions in sequence. But let's right now just take the repair action. Let's start. So let's take the repair action on this character here, and he's just going to place a steam marker on this spot here, which then creates a steam path back to pressure location 1. Now I'm going to move my action marker across onto this card, and we're going to take this recall action, which then moves him over to this spot. So now we're in the right area. Let's see what we can do. I'm going to now what I really want to do now is to join these actions together from these cards. So I'm going to take this card here, because we can't really use these acquire actions this turn. So I'm going to flip this card over, place it here, and use the pipes on the back side of this card to join the top and bottom actions. So now this card is positioned here. I can move around and follow the pipes and get to this card here. Now this is a powerful action. And this is going to increase pressure on the pressure meter. So right now we haven't got any pressure on. So what this is allow us to do is we're going to trash this card. So let's play this action, and we're going to trash this card. So I'm just going to move this up here and say that the card is trashed. We're going to increase pressure, and I'm going to draw the top card off this recycle deck. Okay, so we've got a recycle card here that's got a repair 2 on it. So this is good. Now, if I wanted to repair 2 and I repair this one, it's still not going to get me what I need to do, so I need to get down in this spot here. Now, fortunately enough, I've got a move action to follow up. And I can't, even if I didn't want to move here, because this action is in my action path, I have to take this action. So I have to do a move 1. And the move 1 states that I move to an adjacent location over a steam marker or a reinforced marker, which means I have to take my little character and move him over here. I cannot move him over burst pipes. So I can't move him over to this spot here. I must go over a steam marker, or if I had some of these on the reinforced markers. So he's at this location here. Oh, the snap points. Okay, we'll just put him there. Stand up, little guy. Okay, so he's there right now. From now, I can place this card here and do a Reinforced Repair 2. Now, my options with the Reinforced Repair 2 at this location here is I could just do a standard Repair 1 and put that on, or I can upgrade one of the steam markers to a Reinforced marker. So the Reinforced Repair 2 states I can reinforce repair a steam marker or a burst pipe adjacent location with a reinforced steam marker, or use a basic repair action. So I don't want to use it as a basic repair action, but I want to use it to upgrade this. I could do either one, but I'm going to take this steam marker and I'm going to upgrade it to a reinforced pipe. Now, why this is good is because when the hater bot, when he moves to this location here, my choices is to remove this steam marker, which I don't want to do, or I can downgrade this now to a regular steam marker. And by doing that, when I downgrade it, I will still have this location connected up to pressure location number 2, keeping this location online, and I won't lose a population here. So I've now upgraded this to a reinforced pipe. And then my last action here is I got one card. Now, I'd really like to be able to play that action to reduce this token here, but I need to be at that location spot in order to reduce this 3 token. I could put a 2 on here, but I'm not in the right spot yet. So really my options are I could not play this card, or I could move my bot up to here or here. I can choose to flip this over and do the same move action. So I'll just leave that card. I've forfeited that card too. And then as I come around and I can do another move. So I've got a character sitting there. So maybe I'll start moving my way around here and I'll move my Steambot up to that location. So this concludes all the actions that I can do on my cards because I've played all my actions. This is the last action that's in my action chain. So this is all I can do for in this play and this thing. Sorry, step number 2 is play Steambot actions. The next thing we do is the execute haters objectives. So as we can see right here, we are going to recall to population center number 1, and we're going to burst a pipe. So let's recall up to population center number 1, and we've got 3 steam markers up here, so we can choose one of these 3 steam markers to remove. Now, if it's later on in the game, we can have a discussion on which one to remove. Maybe this character is sitting up close here, and hey, you know what? I can repair this pipe because I'm close to it. But right now, we're in good shape on the board, so let's just take that steam marker off. So this card is done. The next thing that we need to do is increase pressure. So we're going to increase pressure up to 2 on the pressure meter. And then we are going to recall over to pressure location number 2. So we're going to recall over to pressure location number 2. And we're going to take one of these steam markers off. We're going to burst a pipe. Now, again, I don't want to remove that one because I'm not going to have a steam path back. And this is in this location and this location is not going to have steam power. So I'm going to choose one of these 3. I don't like taking this off because this is the shortest path to this population center. So I like to keep the shortest path on to the population centers to keep them connected. So I'm going to choose one of these 2, and let's just say I'm going to choose that steam marker there because I still have a steam path going up here to this population center, and I have one going down this way to keep this online. So this card is done. And then the next thing here is we can optionally redraw one upgrade card. I don't need to do that yet. We've got lots of good cards out. And so I'm going to move up to 3 to upgrade center number 2. So he's going to move here to upgrade center number 2, and he's going to burst a pipe. So again, I'm not going to take this one. So I'm going to downgrade this reinforced pipe to just a standard steam marker. And through that, I've been able to keep this location and then this location connected via steam power through a steam pass, so I will not lose a population on either one of the population centers. So once that card is done, then the current player would simply just pack up all his cards and a standard deck builder rules, put in his discard pile, and then he would draw 5 cards out on his next turn. And again, while this character is taking their actions, the player number 2 can begin planning their turns to say, well, let's say, I can do a couple repairs, and then maybe I want to buy a card this turn. So maybe I can buy a card worth 6. I can do this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc. like that. So they could ready their cards to say that, you know what, I'm going to do a repair. I'm going to chain these 6 actions together and buy a card worth 6, maybe this card up here. So it gives players something to do while other players are actively taking their turns. You can still follow along what they're doing, but it gives them a chance on that downtime to plan their turn and to ready their actions for their turn when it comes available. So now that we've done all step number 3, execute haters' objectives, people then would just generally look at the game board, follow along, and make sure that we have Steam Pass to all the population centers, which we do. 4, 3 is connected, population 5 is connected, and this is connected. Also, all the upgrade centers, well, they haven't changed, so all of them are still online except for number 6, which is at the start of the game. It wasn't online either. It can't host a card. So this would conclude the 4 steps that is part of the player turn, and then the player on their right, the next player, would take their actions. Welcome to another turn sample of the game Overload. So we're a little bit further on in the game, and as you can see, the board's starting to get a little bit worse. We've lost 3 population over here, and this is essentially quarantined this population center off. When a population center is quarantined, you can no longer recall that population center, and you can no longer move through that population center. And the overload markers that are put on here, the red ones, cannot be repaired. So essentially, this is cut off this section of the map, which is troublesome. And where we're at right now is that the builder bot is going to take his turn. He's up here. So we've revealed his objectives. We know that he is going to just take another pipe off here. He's going to recall over to here. He's going to take this off. Now we see that when he takes that off, we're going to lose the population of this population center. So we're going to have to do something with this pipe. And then he's going to move 3, 1, 2, 3 down to this thing here because he wants to make his way down to the stabilizer's location number 5. And once he gets here, he'll just burst a pipe over here, which is fine. We've got some connections over this spot. So I've drawn these cards out. I bought a card here, which has got some better repairs on it, and I'm going to take a look to see what I can do. Now, the pressure has gone up a little bit here. So in dealing with the pressure is like there's cards that that the hater has that will increase pressure. And again, there's cards that you can do that will increase pressure. Additionally, if a location such as a, we don't have any, but if this location here did not have any steam markers on it and he were to move to this spot here and he were to go to he wants to take a pipe, burst a pipe, and he can't, that would also increase pressure up. So you just can't leave locations without steam markers on it because that will also increase pressure too as a strategy. So what I can do is a little bit of assistance on the pressure meter is that I can move to this special location. This is only one spot on the board here, and this is the flow location. It has a token on it here that only costs 2 to acquire. But when I do that, I'll flip this over here. And this is going to give me 2 pressure relief tokens. And what this will do is that this puts a little bit of time on the board here, snap positions, that will allow me to take these tokens off instead of increasing pressure. So what I want to do is maybe move to this location here and do an acquire action with this card. So let's say first I want to do a repair 3 on this location here, which I can move this to a reinforced pipe again. Then I want to move, and then I'd want to do a, can I do a move? Okay, so maybe if I do this, and then I could do this. Okay, so I was just working out the actions in my head here. So my thought process is that I'm going to immediately take this repair 3 action at this spot here. This is going to reinforce this pipe, put it up to an orange pipe, and then I'm going to come around and I'm going to do a move action, which will move me over here. So with this reinforced 3 pipe, is that I can, as a total of 3 actions, do 3 repairs, or I can put this up for a value of 2, because it takes 2 reinforced actions to put on a reinforced pipe. It does allow me to have one more action, because this is a reinforced 3 action. It does allow me to do one more repair afterwards, so I can repair that pipe here. So then I can move. I can maybe do another reinforced repair 2 action to build one of these 2 pipes up. And then at the end of my turn, I can do 2 acquire actions at this location here to get me 2 pressure relief tokens. So let's take this. Now with this thing here, I haven't started my action yet, but I don't want to do the move. I could do the move and then do a reinforced repair 3, but I can just choose to start my actions at this point here. Okay, so I'm going to choose to do this reinforced repair 3. So I'm going to move this up to a reinforced pipe. That's 2 actions to do that. And then I have 1 left over, and then I can do an extra repair to put that on. I'm going to do a move. That puts me over to this spot here. And now I can do a reinforced repair 2 action. So I can take one of these 3 pipes and upgrade one of these to a reinforced pipe. And I'm going to try and keep this location here maybe a little bit more stable, and I'm going to upgrade that to a reinforced pipe here. And then that was this action. And then my last 2 actions on this card, on these cards here, is to do 2 acquire actions, as these are chained actions. I can now flip this token over, which gets me 2 pressure relief tokens. And like I say, when pressure would increase, I would just take a token off instead of increasing this up. Once this thing does overload, what will happen is this pressure meter gets set back over to 0. This comes up to 1, and we're going to do an overload card. And these are all bad. These can burst all pipes. These can put on more of these damage markers, these overload pipes on locations. So overloads are not good. So trying to prevent them is good, but you're not going to always be able to prevent all the overloads from happening. You're probably going to run through a couple of them in the game. And so with that, we've completed this player's actions. And also what happens when this resets over and this bumps up is that we flip over this flow token again, and we can acquire this once per sort of overload cycle. So in theory, we can acquire this 4 times in the game, which gives us essentially 8 pressure that would normally go on the board that wouldn't go on because we put these pressure relief tokens on. So this does allow you to essentially prevent the game possibly from losing through pressure, and it does allow you to take more actions of trashing cards, upgrading and taking more recycle cards in your deck, thinning out your deck, making your deck more powerful. So it's always good as a strategy to try and get these tokens, these flow tokens in the game, because this allows you more flexibility with the cards that you play and how many cards that you can trash out of your deck. And so let's take his HaterBot's actions now, because I've done all my Steambot actions. Let's execute Hater's actions. So with this card here, he's going to move 3 to stabilizer number 2. He's already there. So with that, I can choose one of these 2 steam markers to remove. I'm going to remove that one. Next, he will recall over to population center 3. So now that we've got this steam marker on here, we've got 2 choices. And those choices are, is I can downgrade this to a normal steam marker, or I can, if no steam markers are present, which there are none, I can downgrade a reinforced pipe or choose to just increase pressure. So if it's later on in the game, and let's say our character's up here and we're really trying to work at some of these last stabilizer tokens, we may want to choose to leave this steam marker here present and just increase pressure again. So we could choose to do that, but it's fairly early on in the game, and I don't know how much pressure that we're going to be taking off the game board or putting on the game board by doing our actions and his actions. So I'm just going to choose to downgrade that pipe. And then in his last action, he's going to move 3 to this location down here. So he just chooses the shortest path, 1, 2, and 3. And then we choose one of these 3 steam markers to remove. So maybe this is double connected up So I'm just going to choose to remove that Steam marker. And that's his all 3 actions. So now it would go on to the next player. Thanks for watching.